Welcome, my dear students. So excited to meet you again in another episode of our program for English language for first preparatory under the supervision of the Ministry of Education. أهلا بكم أعزائي الطلبة في حلقة جديدة من حلقات برنامجنا للصف الأول الإعدادي للغة الإنجليزية تحت رعاية وإشراف وزارة التربية والتعليم. As you know, we have covered the first two units, Unit 7 and Unit 8. And today we are going to complete and start by Unit 9, which is an adventure. What is the meaning of the word adventure? To be able to guess what we are going to take in this unit, we have to know the meaning of this word. Adventure means unusual, extraordinary, daring experience. يعني تجربة غير اعتيادية، غريبة وجريئة، محتاجة الجرأة. Okay? تمام. Let's start by saying the main objectives of our unit. Let's start. As we have said, we are going to begin our episode today with saying or having a look about the most important objectives in this unit, or what we are going to take mainly in this unit. Okay. What we are going to learn. أول حاجة, in the reading part, we will read about the holiday plans, a postcard, and we will know what is the meaning of the postcard, and we will read about the famous novel Around the World in 80 Days. Then, in the writing part, we will have a paragraph about the adventure sport, and we will know what is the meaning of this word, adventure sport. And we have to write an email planning a trip. For listening, we are going to discuss adventure sports, and we are going to discuss a game, a presentation about a trip to the desert. And we have a conversation about choosing activities, how we are going to choose our favorite activities. For speaking, discussing activities and travel plans, we're describing the weather. We are going to describe the atmosphere, the weather, okay? It's rainy, it's foggy, it's sunny. And in the language or the grammar part, we have going to for planning in the future, or for plans in the future, and we have the reflexive pronouns. And at last, we have the life skills, okay? And we are going to talk this time about the negotiation. What is the meaning of the word negotiate? To negotiate someone, يعني إيه? And how to respect the opinions of others. إزاي تحترم آراء الآخرين. تمام؟ Okay. طيب. Let's start the unit بقى by talking about the adventure sports. Adventure sports. إحنا قلنا the title of our unit is adventure. وقلنا الادفنتشر اللي هي a daring or unusual or extraordinary experience. يعني تجربة غريبة، مغامرة. تمام؟ So, some of us prefer to have or to live an adventurous life. بيحبوا يلعبوا adventurous life، يعيشوا حياة مليئة بالمغامرات. And some of us prefer to be safe, secure, and they don't have to risk their lives. يعني بعض الأشخاص بيحبوا المغامرات، وبعض الناس بيفضلوا الحياة الأمنة اللي ما فيهاش مغامرات. طيب. One of the most important ways to live adventurous life is to experience the adventure sports. Okay? الادفنتشر sports اللي هي الألعاب اللي ممكن بنخاطر فيها بحياتنا، أو it's a little bit risky، فيها مخاطرة. تمام؟ طيب. We have in the first picture rock climbing. Rock climbing. What is the meaning of this word? Rock climbing, it's a sport or an extreme sport in which I can climb mountains. اللي فيها بقدر أتسلق الجبال especially using ropes أو special equipment. وعادة بستخدم معدات معينة، equipment معينة، وبستخدم الروبس. تمام؟ أوكي. بعد كده we have the diving. And for me, diving is one of the most amazing water sports that you can experience, especially in Egypt, because you can enjoy the coral reef, the different types of fish. Okay, it's very important to experience this sport. الدايفنج اللي هو الغوص. تمام؟ When you have the ability to dive or to swim under the surface of water using equipment like الجوجلز, الفلابرز, الأكسجين سلندر, etc. تمام؟ الدايفنج أو الغطس. بعد كده we have the mountain biking. All of us know how to ride a bike. يعني تقريبا كلنا نعرف ازاي نسوق عجل. بس the mountain biking when you have the chance to ride a bike in a very rough road. يعني ايه؟ يعني بتسوق العجلة بتاعتك وعادة بتبقى special designed bikes يعني عجلات مخصصة للموضوع ده in very rough roads يعني ايه في الطرق الوعرة او الطرق الصعبة جدا. تمام؟ الماونتن بايك. بعد كده I have the sailing. السيلينج اللي هو الإبحار. اوكي؟ The process of navigating or moving a ship in the water or when you sail with a sailing boat in the water. الإبحار. تمام؟ بعد كده we have the windsurfing and it's very amusing sport. الwindsurfing when you have to move on the surface of the water. حضرتك when you have to sail بتبحر بس on the surface of the water using a board or standing on a board and catching the sail of this board. الwindsurfing ان انت بتقدر تتحرك على سطح المية وبتكون راكب البورد أو اللوح المخصص للwindsurfing. تمام؟ بعد كده الزيب لايننج. الزيب لايننج يعني إيه؟ When you have to move from one point to another. Usually they are very high points, okay? Suspended with a thick wire. يعني عادة بتبقى معلق. Look at the picture كده. Suspended from a very thick wire to move from one high point to another. يعني بتتحرك من نقطة مرتفعة جدا لنقطة تانية while you are suspended معلق في الواير اللي قدامنا ده. تمام؟ الزيب lining and it's very risky I think. بعد كده we have the kayaking. والkayaking very amusing water sport when you sail riding a kayak or a canoe. okay? الكانو أو الكاياكينج like a very small boat. تمام؟ يعني قارب صغير جدا. بعد كده we have the trekking. التريكينج a sport in which you can walk for a long distances. يعني بتمشي لمسافات طويلة جدا for to enjoy the environment عشان تستمتع بالطبيعة أو for a recreational or entertainment. تمام؟ التريكينج. Okay. After explaining all these definitions and talking about these adventure sports, let's كده check what we get by answering this question. Choose the correct answer from A, B, C, or D. Number 1. Space is one of the most dangerous mountain sports. Mountain sports. We have diving, we have kayaking, we have rock climbing, and sailing. Which one is a mountain sport? Excellent. Of course, it is the rock climbing. الrock climbing. تسلق الجبال أو الصخور. Many tourists like to go space on a board when they go on a journey to the Red Sea. عشان كده قلنا that Egypt is one of the most wonderful places that you have sports like this. الwindsurfing, الدايفنج, الsailing, okay? Because we have the Red Sea. تمام؟ يبقى many tourists like to go space on a board when they go on a journey to the Red Sea. We have the windsurfing, الدايفنج, الدرايفنج, التريكينج. Of course, it's the windsurfing. الwindsurfing. Okay, I think that A looks scary. Looks scary. مخيفة أو مرعبة. الbiking, lining, diving, climbing. We have said the name of this sport. It's A. Excellent. Zip lining. Zip lining. تمام؟ Okay. Number 4, in Dahab, we are going to go in the mountains. We are going to go diving, trekking, windsurfing, kayaking. All these sports are water sports except one. ما عدا واحدة. إيه هي؟ Excellent. التريكينج. التريكينج اللي هو walking for a long distances. تمام؟ فإحنا هنمشي في between الجبال أو هنمشي in the mountains in دهب. تمام؟ التريكينج. All you need to go space is a boat and some wind. All you need to go sailing, to go trekking, diving, zip lining. Of course it's sailing. كل اللي حضرتك محتاجه عشان تبحر أو تعمل sailing is a boat and some wind. تمام؟ Okay. I love space because I'm good at swimming underwater. I love to swim underwater means what? To dive. To dive يعني يغطس أو نغطس. What are your space for the weekend? What are your what? Planes طيارات, plants نباتات, plans or plays. يلعب ولا plans? Of course it's plan. What's the meaning of a plan? A detailed presentation or when you decide to do something in the future. Plan يعني خطة. Plans. Okay. Got it? I think we got the definitions of these adventure sports, and now let's move to another part of our episode, which is the listening part. Listen to Hassan and Imad. Which of the previous activities do they talk about? Let's check. We will read this text and we have to decide which activity they are talking about. Imad, what are you looking at, Hassan? Hassan, أنت بتبص على إيه? What are you looking at, Hassan? Hassan, hi Imad, it's an article about adventure sports in Egypt. هي مقالة عن الادفنتشر سبورتس، عن الرياضات اللي فيها مغامرة، الادفنتشر سبورتس أو الإكستريم سبورتس in Egypt. عماد, oh yes, last year I went diving in the Red Sea. It was amazing. أيوة فعلا السنة اللي فاتت أنا عملت دايفنج أو غطست في الريد سي في البحر الأحمر. It was amazing. كانت حاجة رائعة. حسن, I'd love to do that. I'd like to try windsurfing too. أنا كمان نفسي أعمل كده. I'd love to do that. أنا أحب أن أعمل زيك. I'd like to try windsurfing. بس أنا نفسي أجرب الwindsurfing أنا كمان. عماد, what about rock climbing? What about rock climbing? هنا he is suggesting, هو بيقترح what about, using what about يعني إيه رأيك في الروك climbing أو في تسلق الصخور أو الجبال. حسن, I don't know, مش عارف. I think rock climbing is a bit dangerous, but I like trekking in the mountains. بتهيألي الكلايمبينج ده حاجة very dangerous, but I like trekking. أنا بحب التجول أو التريكينج في الجبال أكتر. عماد, me too, I like the mountains. أنا كمان بحب الجبال قوي. I'm going to visit Sinai with my family in the holidays. أنا كمان بانجوي فكرة الانطلاق في الجبال. I'm going to visit Sinai. أنا كمان هزور سينا with my family in the holidays في الأجازة. حسن, are you going to try mountain biking عماد؟ طب أنت هتجرب الماونتن biking؟ No, I'm not going to do anything scary. It's very difficult to ride a bike in the mountain. Yes, it's very risky and very dangerous, very difficult to ride a bike between these rough roads between the mountains. Hassan, I think you are right. أعتقد إن أنت صح. Zip lining looks scary too. I think it looks fun. I'm going to try it one day. Hassan, really? No way. Okay? يبقى في الجزء الأخير حسن قال له I think you are right. أنا شايف إن أنت على حق. والzip lining looks scary كمان حاجة مخيفة جدا. I think فعماد رد عليه وقال له I think it looks fun. أعتقد إنها يعني تجربة مرحة أو تجربة هتدينا استمتاع. I'm going to try it one day. أنا هجربها في يوم من الأيام. وحسن قال له really no way. يعني فعلا لا أنا مش هقدر أعمل كده. Got the conversation? Okay. Let's بقى check by let's check these sentences and answer them by putting true or false. Okay. طيب عماد went diving last year. عماد غطس السنة اللي فاتت. Yes, of course. True. أيوة هو عماد قال إن هو غطس مع عيلته السنة اللي فاتت. حسن went surfing with his family. حسن عمل wind surfing. Of course not. False. لا طبعا. If you are following the conversation, you will find that Hassan said that he didn't go windsurfing with his family. Hassan thinks rock climbing is dangerous. حسن شايف إن الروك climbing حاجة مرعبة أو حاجة خطرة. Yes, of course. طبعا قال كده. عماد and Hassan think mountain biking looks scary. Both of them have the same opinion that mountain biking looks scary. True. طبعا الاتنين كان عندهم نفس البيليف أو نفس الاعتقاد ده. حسن thinks zip lining looks fun. لا طبعا. Okay. He thinks that zip lining looks scary. Okay. Scary. مخيفة. عماد would like to try zip lining. عماد نفسه يجرب الزيب لايننج في يوم من الأيام. Yes. قال له طبعا I want to try it one day. أنا نفسي أجربها في يوم من الأيام. Got it? Okay. Let's have بقى some language notes which we can benefit in the reading or in the writing part. First we have we use the verb go with the sports or activities that end with ing. We have explained before that we can differentiate between play, go, and do. Each one of these verbs come with with a kind of activities. For example, go comes with the activities which end with ing. Look at the board. ing بينتهي activity بتنتهي ب ing. يعني إيه؟ Go diving, go surfing, go windsurfing, go mountain climbing. أي activity بينتهي ب ing I have to use it with go. بستخدمه مع go. تمام؟ طيب play بستخدمه مع مين؟ If I want to talk about ball sports الألعاب اللي فيها استخدام للكرة. play tennis, play football, play volleyball, play handball. أي ball sport I can use them with play. بلعب ألعاب الكرة. ball sports. طيب بعد كده do بستخدمها مع إيه؟ do بستخدمها مع on team أو non team sports الألعاب اللي ما فيهاش team individual اللي بستخدمها اللي بلعبها لوحدي أو competitive games زي إيه؟ I can say do aerobics. If I want to do aerobics أنا هعمل كده لوحدي aerobics. تمام؟ do gymnastics الجيم. طيب بعد كده do karate هلعب الكاراتيه. تمام؟ يبقى كل individual sports بستخدمها مع do. تمام؟ Let's have some examples بقى على go. We have go hiking, go kayaking, go windsurfing, and go sailing. تمام؟ hiking, kayaking, windsurfing, and sailing. يبقى any activity which end with ing هستخدم معاه go. حسن went zip lining last year. تمام؟ طيب another important thing. What is the difference between the words scary and scared? Can I say I was so scary when I watched the movie? لا طبعا. This is incorrect. ليه؟ لأن scared هي اللي معناها to be afraid or to be in a state of being terrified. تمام؟ يعني حضرتك تبقى مرعوب أو خايف. scared. To describe your feeling. لو أنت بتتكلم على شعورك أنت you will describe yourself as scared. خايف. تمام؟ طيب لكن scary is the إيه؟ scary the things that cause the state of being afraid. تمام؟ أوكي. Scared means afraid, frightened or terrified. Scary, frightening or the something makes you scared. الحاجة اللي بتخليك تخاف. الcause أو reason اللي بتحطك في الشعور ده. Example, أحمد was so scared when he saw the horror movie. أحمد كان خايف جدا لما شاف الهورر موفي. الزيب lining is very scary. رياضة الزيب lining مخيفة. I have the difference between arrive at و arrive in. Arrive at comes with cities, countries أو large places. لكن arrive in بتيجي مع smaller places. يعني إيه؟ Arrive in cities, towns and countries. Cities, towns and countries. large places. تمام؟ While arrive at بتيجي with the smaller places أو the buildings. يعني I arrive at the station. I arrive at my home. Arrived in London last month. Arrive at with small places and buildings زي ما قلنا station, house, office, museum or school. Okay. Got all the information we have said that we have explained in this part. احنا قلنا we talked about the adventure sports. اتكلمنا على different types of adventure sports which we can go to live adventurous life. And we have covered the difference between, we have some language notes زي difference, how to differentiate between scary and scared, between arriving and arrive at, between go, play and do. تمام? And how we can use this adventure sports in sentences. Got it? I hope that you got all the information we have covered in this part, and see you next time inshallah. Bye.